Colts. I don't like Tennessee. I watched them play a little bit against the Browns last week. I'm not impressed with anything I see. I always go the quarterback matchup. I'll take Andrew Luck over Mariota. I think the Colts pull it out.
See why you would. This is a tight game. That 3 points to me is just there because Tennessee's the home team, and this is a pick 'em. I like the overs in this game. I don't see either team. Look, Tennessee's defense is not that bad. Dick LeBeau's got a nice setup going there. They're growing. They're getting better. But I often see a team like Indianapolis playing from behind. Andrew Luck is very good at moving the ball downfield, especially playing from behind. 48's a lot. That's 7 touchdowns. That's pretty rich. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Tennessee Titans at home as well and lay the 3 points.
All righty.
And I don't know if this is going over or not. I wouldn't touch it either way. If I was in the desert, I'm leaving the whole game alone, but I'm taking Tennessee in 3. On to the next game, Jacksonville. I am too lazy to get in the car and drive the 4.5 hours tomorrow morning to go to this game. The Raiders make the East Coast journey. Jacksonville is a 1-point home favorite. The over-under is 47.5. Pepper Jack, Raiders, Jacksonville.
I think that game opened up with Oakland being the original favorite.
Yeah, it did.
Mistaken, I think the Raiders were 2-point favorites, and it seems like the money is on Jacksonville. Jacksonville's now a 1-point favorite in that game. Sometimes when that occurs, it always makes me think that they know what's going on. The inside bettors know what's going on. They're jumping on that. They jumped on that Jacksonville +2 out the gate.
Yeah.
America sees a 69% on the Oakland Raiders. Pepper Jack doesn't believe in his Raiders traveling from the West Coast all the way over to Florida.
You have good reason not to.
Yeah, they just can't seem to that defense just cannot seem to get anything going. Bortles, I think, has the ability to spread that offense this weekend against the Raiders. I see about a 27-23 Jacksonville victory.
I'm going to jump in here on this one. The Raiders are 3-0 on the road this year. They got an ass beating at home by the Kansas City Chiefs and a division rival coming off a 2-week layover and a beating on Sunday night from the Steelers. Oakland shapes up. They've played really well on the road. They played better on the road than they have at home. I think they come in and take advantage of an opportunity against a Jacksonville team that has very little identity and a Blake Bortles that I think is klutzy and having some issues. I'm going to take the Raiders to actually go in there and beat them 28-17.
On a side note for that, Tom, Oakland's 5-0 against the spread in its last 5 road games. So you may be onto something there.
I'm interested. Let's see.
The stats that they come up with.
Handily to find out if they're a real team or not. If they don't, then they are on the road. We'll see. Joe, what you got?
I'm gonna roll with the silver and black. I think this is the game. We're gonna find out a lot about the young man Derek Carr this week and this team in general. Are they back? Is the Raiders back? Was last week just a hiccup? We're gonna find all this out next week because if they are a good team and they are back, they will bounce back and go beat a Jacksonville team that I don't think is very good. They will go on the road and they will take care of business because that's what good teams do when they get beat. We talked about this earlier. They bounce back. I'm gonna say the Raiders are going to do that. They need to find a way. They need to tighten up that defense. So it is a problem. I will agree.
I can't defend it. It sucks. So okay, that's even. Let's go. Another West Coast game. Tampa travels all the way across country to San Francisco. Buccaneers are actually a pick'em in this game right now, over under 46. That's a little crazy that this slid to a pick'em. I didn't see where it opened up, Jack. Where did you see it?
I have Tampa Bay -1. I think it opened up San Francisco -1. So it is moving.
I know what I like here.
Oh man, this game is a stink pot. Oh
it
man,
might be. Jack, you want to fire away?
Well, I think that you and I talked earlier, and might be the week that Tampa Bay maybe either becomes a team that on the rise or a team on the decline. I think going through the West Coast is going to be difficult for them. San Francisco really hasn't had a quality showing other than week 1. I do not like the quarterback in San Francisco. Therefore, I will be rooting against the quarterback in San Francisco. I'll go with Tampa Bay. I got about 46.5 as the over-under. I think that goes under. Probably around a 2 or 3 point game. Tampa Bay by 2 or 3.
Okay, 5-2. So Jack's got the Bucs. I'm taking the Buccaneers as well. I think this line is a bit of a mistake. I don't think San Francisco's a good team at all. I don't think the players like Chip Kelly in the slightest. There's a pattern forming here, and it's Chip Kelly coaches teams that lose and get beat and fall apart and have all kinds of emotional distress and locker room fracturing. Chip Kelly cannot handle professional athletes. This has been established. I will bet against Chip Kelly and the San Francisco 49ers going forward until they show me something otherwise. Kaepernick looked like hell last week. Buffalo's defense is very good, but he overthrew, underthrew, couldn't get settled, a little panicky with his feet. Now, granted, you're on the road in Buffalo. I don't know that he's going to get a warm reception in San Francisco because those fans are sick of this team. I'm taking Tampa Bay to actually beat them pretty handily. Tampa could win this game by about 6. Joe, your pick.
Well, I can tell you this much. I'm only going to do this pick because I like you guys. Because I could give two shits about this game. This game is awful. But in all reality, I think Chip Kelly he's like JP from Grandma's Boy. I think people hate him. I mean, he has this thing where he thinks nobody understands my genius.
Yeah, he's not going to cut it. So you're going to take the Bucs and we're moving on.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucs. I don't even care about strat. I don't care about any insight in this game. It sucks, but I'll take the Bucs.
I like Winston as a fantasy play. I think it's a nice move. I think Mike Evans is a nice move as a fantasy play, and I think you can take all the 49ers with the exception of Torrey Smith and not play any of them. Torrey Smith might be an interesting sleeper there too. But anyway, Washington's at Detroit. Matt Stafford's arm has been golden the last couple weeks. Nice fantasy play in both of these quarterbacks. I like the over-unders in this game. It sits at 50. It's a ton of points, but that looks like it could be a 35-31 kind of game, but it also could be a 17-14 stinker. Jack, what do you got?
Well, you used that term golden when you mentioned Matt Stafford. Yes, you did, and I don't know if you meant to, but we did see his emergence last week. Golden Tate, that is.
Yeah, he is out of the doghouse.
Yeah, so I see that in the last 5 games on the road, Washington's 5-0 against the spread. I don't know if that's going to come into play here. I do believe it's a 3-point game either way. Mm-hmm. I'm going with the home team because I go against the trend all the time, and it gets me in a lot of trouble. So
clearly,
27-24 Detroit, going over by 1 point.
27-24 Detroit. Boy, you and I are real close on this one. I actually, looking at this, had Detroit winning this game by 4, just on something fluky. I feel like if they can get to Kirk Cousins, something might happen here, and this is the week where you find out whether Washington's any good or not. I actually I have Detroit winning this game 28-24. Joe, what do you got?
I have another game I won't watch. I'm gonna roll with the home team. This is one of those games where I think you roll with the home team. I'm in agreement with you guys. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan. I really think he's not accurate. I really don't, Kirk. but I'm with you guys. I'm with Detroit on this one. I think this is the close game where the home team gets the edge.
Word. Well, all right, Joe, I know you're watching this when you start us off here. I'm pretty sure you'll be pinned to the TV. Cleveland travels south to Cincinnati. Cleveland is in the news sports-wise all over the place. It's a very exciting time for Cleveland sports fans. The Cavs hoisted a trophy. The Indians have an opportunity, a World Series victory here. It's an exciting time to be in northeastern Ohio unless you're just a Browns fan. It's still sad.
Tell me about it. The scene in that city right now, and it's been a long time coming for that city. They needed it, especially with LeBron. Even when he came back, the Cavs won a championship. Now the Indians. That economy is booming. It's a great time to be in Cleveland right now. But let's get back to the football aspect. The Browns.
Yeah, give it to me, man. They're getting 10 points in Cincinnati.
They're getting 10 points against a Cincinnati team that's playing like shit.
They are.
The Browns are in games. They have been in games. I would. If you give me 10 points, I think I'd have to roll with the Cleveland Browns in the 10 points. The way Cincinnati is struggling right now, I don't even know if it continues like this. I don't even know if your man Marvin Lewis is going to make it through the year. It's bad for him.
I got you down. You're taking the Browns in the 10?
I'll take the 10 points with the Browns, but I think Cincinnati will win. I think something along the lines of 24-17, something like that.
Pepper Jack, what do you got?
Well, I think Andy Dalton has had some tremendous games against the Browns as of late. Especially last year, I think he did very well. From what I'm gathering.
Yeah, that was last year's Browns, though.
Yeah,
that's not this year's Browns.
Cincinnati's 6-1 straight up in its last 7 games when playing at home against Cleveland. 10.5 is what I have. You have it at 10.
I do have it at 10. Yep.
Boy, I see that game not as close as that spread. I see it about a 21-10 Cincinnati victory going under. And only problem I have with Cleveland, as you mentioned, is they seem to be keeping close with their opponents, but unfortunately for them, they seem to be scoring that touchdown in the last 2 minutes of a game that always allows them to cover. And that's what happened last week. If you watched, I know Pepper Jack was all over that Tennessee Titans. Yeah. Cleveland did put a 7 spot on the board in the last 2 minutes of that game, which obviously allowed them to cover. So
you got backdoored.
Yeah. Cincinnati might have too much on defense to allow the Browns to go downfield with that late fourth quarter score. I say 21-10 Cincinnati.
And they cover.
I think Cleveland is. I think they intentionally send the Browns down to Cincinnati for the weekends. Like, here, we'll give you guys a little bit more extra money. Just go away for a time. We don't want your stink around this. What's going on right now? Just stay in Cincinnati, practice down there, and play. Just stay out of Cleveland for a little bit.
Well, there's going to be plenty of time and plenty of fun in Cleveland. I don't think Browns fans are going to have any this weekend. Division games tend to go poorly for the Browns. They did run with Tennessee last week, but you're right. Pepper Jack is on it. That was a garbage cover, backdoor cover touchdown last week. 10.5 is a lot to surmount, and you're right. Both of you are right. Cincinnati has played poorly. I do think this is a get-right game for the Bengals, and they have an opportunity to get right and win this game like 31-13. I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm taking the 10-point cover with 10.5. Yeah, 10 points. I wouldn't normally in the NFL. I would never walk up and make a play and lay 10 points. I just wouldn't do it. It's entirely too many points. There's no gimmies in the NFL, none. And this Browns team is playing competitive, and they're continuing to play competitive. They have a future. It's not now, but they do have a future. I'm still going to take Cincinnati. Let's jump to the London game. I'm about tired of this 9 a.m. bullshit, though. These games aren't any good. It's bad for the teams. I don't enjoy it. It usually turns out to be something sloppy. Nobody's the home team here, despite the fact that the Giants are listed as the home team. Los Angeles Rams, New York Giants. In London, Giants are a 3-point favorite. Jack, what do you see?
Well, what I see is the trends where the Giants are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games when playing the Rams. It is a 3-point game, as you said. The Rams are the home team. Doesn't make a whole lot.
I thought the Giants were the home team here.
No, I have it the other way. You have it.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Well,
I wrote it backwards because I don't care.
Yeah.
Was it good to hear that you're right? Did that feel good?
Probably the only time this week that I've heard that. So thank you.
Well, you enjoy it. You earned it.
Thank you. Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, big time show up last week. I think it happens again this week for some reason. I don't think the Rams are for real. Kenny Britt's been having some really good games. Kenny Britt's one of those guys that never gets drafted, and then all of a sudden fantasy football waiver wire is just blaring because Kenny Britt had a good game last week.
Sure.
Don't think it's going to matter this week. I do see the Giants going to London, and I do see the Giants beating the Rams. I know the spread's at 3. I'll say the game hits right at 3-4. Give me the Giants 27, Rams. No, let's go back. Giants 20, Rams 17, under the 40.
And the push. Calling the push.
Yep.
Interesting. Let me jump on this one. I did read somewhere where the Rams had actually been out there all week in London, and they left immediately after losing to the Detroit Lions last week. So they figured it out, lost that game, got their asses beat, hopped on a plane, and went to London. That's a lot of travel time. I don't know about the resting up and getting situated when you get on the road. That's a long way to go. There's a lot of acclimation that goes on when you go across the pond like that. It looks like the Giants flew out there the day before. They had practice, and they're getting in this morning. I don't know how that affects anybody. I hate these games. I hate even attempting to handicap the game. If I was handicapping it at home here, And considering the Giants to be more of the geographical home team, they have a shorter trip from New York than you do from Detroit, which is where the Rams flew out of. I'm taking the Giants to beat them just because they're the better team. Nothing more, nothing less. 31-16 Giants, and I'll lay the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the G-men as well. Like for everything for everything you guys pretty much covered.